I am a born native from the island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Yet, every day on my job, I'm being asked, Claron, are you Jamaican? When I open my mouth to speak. Do you think I should be offended if I'm constantly being asked this question daily on my job? Let me know in the comment section up in I ask.
Okay, so this one is very interesting. And the reason why I'm saying it is very interesting is because I believe that I can speak to this as best as probably anyone else could speak about this issue. And before I start, let me just say to the young lady, no, personally, I don't think that you should be offended, but I understand if you're offended. So that's just my opinion. I don't think you should be, but I do understand if you are. And let's talk about it now. So the reason why I believe that I can talk about this better than probably anyone else, because, okay, first, my wife is from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I am Jamaican. And I've been in numerous positions where we've been somewhere, or, you know, people that we consider friend now when we met them for the first time. And I'm talking about sometimes interacting with people from Jamaica, in particular, like people that are much older than us. And when we do that introduction, I've had a few occasions where someone would say to my wife, so, where in Jamaica are you from, you know? And she's like, oh, no, I'm not Jamaican, you know, I'm Vincentian background. And, you know, sometimes there'll be like a shock on their face, like, oh, like, you know, like this, I can't believe that you're not from Jamaica. And I believe a lot of people from the Caribbean a lot of times get offended with questions like that. And as I said, personally, I understand, because even though these interactions are with a lot of times people from Jamaica, in particular older people, it's like there's sometimes people cannot fathom the idea that everyone is not from Jamaica. Like if you're black, if you're in the diaspora, like, and you have an accent, you're Jamaican. And sometimes it's sad when that is coming from like Jamaicans. I kind of understand when it's coming from like Americans, Canadians, like white Americans, white Canadians, because they don't really understand the depth of Caribbean culture that much. So I understand where she's coming from. And as I said, I've experienced it in my own circle, Caribbean circle, where I would introduce my wife to someone who's from Jamaica, and the first thing that would come out of their mouth, where in Jamaica you're from. Another thing why this is so interesting, because chances are, if you live in Jamaica or you live in, say, St. Vincent, Barbados, Trinidad, anywhere else in the Caribbean, and you have never traveled, this probably sound a bit weird to you because you have never really experienced it. But if you're living like in the diaspora, if you're living in anywhere in Canada, if you're living in the United Kingdom, anywhere in the United States of America, and you're from somewhere else in the Caribbean, chances are something like this, you'd have experienced something like this. So at this time, sound off in the comment section. Let me know if you're from anywhere in the Caribbean, if you're from St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Vincent, Barbados, Trinidad, wherever, and you have experienced something like this, and how did that make you feel? Were you offended? How did it make you feel? Sound off and let me know. Yes, so the first time, as I said, if you're living in the Caribbean, you have never left the Caribbean, chances are you have never experienced this. And the first time I experienced something like this was about 18 years ago, when I first lived outside of Jamaica. I lived in Bermuda. I worked in Bermuda for a while. And so I was very good friends with this lady from St. Kitts and Nevis. And I remember the first time I experienced what this young lady is talking about. We were at work. We were working at a hotel. A guest that was at the hotel. After work, we were there just like chit-chatting with that guest. This person was a white American. And we're there just chit-chatting after work. And lovely guests and everything. And we're there talking. And so when we're going in depth in our conversation, the person that we're talking to thought that we were locals, like we were both from Bermuda, but we were not. I'm from Jamaica. She was from St. Kitts and Nevis. So up having the conversation, so the guest said like, "Oh, so where are you from?" And the lady, she said, "Oh, I'm from Nevis," because she's from the island of Nevis. She's like, "I'm from Nevis," with a smile on her face, because Caribbean people, we're some of the proudest set of people in the entire world, Caribbean people. So with a big smile on her face, she said, "I'm from Nevis." And the gentleman turned around and said, "Oh, where in Jamaica is that?" And she was so upset. She was so upset. And that was the first time that I've ever experienced something like that. And after that, I've experienced it on different occasions, because the reality is that a lot of people from Europe, from America, from Canada, even though Canada and America were a part of the same region, North America, Caribbean, you would believe that Americans and Canadians have this old geography thing part, and they know about Caribbean and Caribbean culture. But that is not the case. A lot of people, even though we're so close, a lot of people from America, a lot of people from Canada, when they see like a black person and they hear like this accent, they just Jamaican without asking. And to me, it is in an innocent way, because they really don't know. They really don't know about geography. They really don't know about Caribbean culture like that. So a lot of them, it's just innocent. It's not like they're trying to be disrespectful or anything. They just don't know. So as I said, guys, sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you feel about this topic. Have this ever happened to you? And if you want to share your experience in the comment section, go ahead and share your experience and tell me, how did this make you feel in the comment section. And as I said, like as a Jamaican, I understand, like people, Caribbean people, we're full of pride. And this also happened, like I know this happened with even Africa, the continent of Africa, that you look and you find, say, Nigeria. Nigeria is one of the most known African nation. So a lot of people in North America, in Canada where I live, they would see like someone and they would know enough that, okay, the African accent is a bit different from the Caribbean accent. So they can pick out an African accent different, but to them, every African accent is from Nigeria. And for me, myself, sometimes being around a lot of Africans and trying to know the different accents and stuff like that, sometimes I'm tempted to mess up. Sometimes I'm like, oh, like I know someone from Ghana when I see them. I know the accent. And I think I've made a mistake one time, and I asked someone like if they're from Ghana, and the person wasn't from Ghana, and I can see that they were offended. So since that time, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to try and be an expert. I'm not, even if I know 100% that you're from Ghana or you're from Nigeria, I'm going to ask you where in Africa you're from if I'm meeting you for the first time. So this, as I said, this is not done as to be with the intent to be disrespectful. It's just that people, there's so many different accents, and the thing is, like that young lady, she looked like a Jamaican, like someone I could be walking in Jamaica now, and she would look like any young lady in Jamaica. And you know, when I've been to St. Vincent, when I've been to Barbados, we are just all the same people. It is just crazy because going to Barbados, going to St. Vincent, going to Bermuda, well, Bermudans look a little bit different. There's some people, like some Trinidadians might look a bit different, but in particular, St. Vincent, Barbados look pretty much identical to how a Jamaican would look. And so I understand why people would mess up if you're from Europe, from Canada, and you don't really know the accent like that. You have not been around a lot of Caribbean people. So guys, as I said, let me know what you think about this conversation. Has it ever happened to you? And do you think that she should have been offended? And sound off and let me know what you think. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. And remember, peace. I'm out.